We got 10 minutes. 10 minutes to go. And then it's time. Right, we just wrapped it up. About to start the recappage on episode 6. House of the Dragon. In the movie cave. Cody's movie cave. On my Iron Throne.
Welcome back to Cody's Movie Cave, where tonight we shall be discussing episode 6 of House of the Dragon, aka House Targaryen. Anyway, so lots to unpack as we recap, ruminate, and review episode 6. So let's get right to it. Episode 6 for me, my Targaryen hair is in my way. Episode 6 was a little bit on the lackluster side. Not a lot of excitement, but a lot of intrigue, so let's get going. Alright, so we begin with 10 years have passed since episode 5. I mean, we have moved forward, folks. We got a grown Rhaenyra, we got a grown Alicent, and so yeah. It opens with Rhaenyra giving birth to her third son. Now let me just say that scene was pretty graphic. I could have done without the sound effects, people. Yeah, we didn't need to hear all that. Anyway, she gives birth to a healthy boy, the third one, and she is summoned like a house pet by the queen to see the child. So let me just say, this Rhaenyra chick is one tough mother, pun intended. I mean, she has just given birth, childbirth, if you will. Leaked it out all over the floor, and she is sauntering through the Red Keep. She gonna prove her point, and so props to her. So she's gone to see the queen, and she's got her little husband, we shall say. He's playing his part, because we know he don't really, dig the women folk. Anyway, so they go to see the queen and the king. He's still alive, believe it or not. He looks like the crypt keeper, but he's still alive. So they see that. They see, they get to see their grandchild. The queen, Alicent, is in full villain. Let me just say, we all was worried about how in the other episodes that she was, a little too nice compared to her book version. Homegirl went cray-cray in this one. She is straight up villainous. Move over, Cersei. There's a new bad-ended evil chick in the kingdom right now. So yeah, move on over. So yeah, Alicent is inspecting the baby, looking for white hair, which it has none, because Celaena is not the father. No. He is not, of all three of them. All three of them has dark hair, and they just don't, mix well. Come to find out, it's actually Sir Harwin's. Yeah, Bonebreaker himself. That's his children. And, yeah, we'll get into that a little later. But anyway, so she's trying to connive her way in true Hightower fashion with her children to be the heirs. Aegon, who is now much older. He's a teenager. Alicent and the king had a daughter and another boy who is kind of the weakling of the crop. He don't have a dragon. He ain't got no play in this game. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, though, all the children, Rhaenyra's and Alicent's, are in the dragon pit. We got a full-on How to Train Your Dragon special right here. I mean, because they got their little dragons, little, baby dragons they're training and trying to teach these boys how to train them, and all I can say is that poor goat, poor goat. He got roasted Dracarys style. Yep. Anyway, So, whew, I don't know how they did it back then, where these wear long hair like this. Anyway, so yeah, this episode's a lot of family dynamics, a lot with the children, the heirs, the Rhaenyra children and the Alicent children. Speaking of which, they're in the training courtyard, and Sir Christian Cole, who somehow has not aged a day. Everybody else has, but homeboy, he ain't aged a day. I guess they just couldn't recast him. Anyway, so he got it. He's got his back up against Rhaenyra for her sort of letting him down and playing him like that, but he's taken up with the Queen, Alicent, not in the biblical sense, but they conspire. They're I don't like either one of them, but anyway. So Sir Christian Cole obviously favors the Queen and the King's children, and he ain't been training the Rhaenyra, her boys. He ain't been training them right, and so old Sir Harwin strolls up and calls him out on this BS. Like, yo, why you favoring them, and why ain't you training them like you supposed to? And a fight ensues because Sir Christian Cole, in true douchebag fashion, gets the gist that he's sort of poking the bear, if you will, with Sir Harwin, and he's had enough, and so he strikes Sir Christian Cole to the ground and pummels him like we all wanted to do. He does it, and so yeah, he kind of gets in some trouble for that. And him being the Hand's son and all, the Hand is kind of, he's like, I gotta remove myself. I gotta resign. Get out of him quick, because there's all kinds of drama going on, and whatnot. So anyway, the King rejects the Hand's resignation, and the Queen's not too happy about that, because she was wanting him out anyway. But anyway, so over here in some other town or country, what have you, we have Daemon and his lovely bride that he took, which is Laena or Lara, I don't know. Anyway, it's the sister to Sir Laena, which is Rhaenyra's husband, and she has married Daemon, and they've had 2 children so far, 2 girls, and Daemon's he's kind of in different mode tonight in this episode. He's not the bad-ended, quick-witted hotshot that he has been. He's sort of tamed down, and I don't like it. I don't like this side of Daemon. I don't like seeing him so soft, I like to see Daemon, as the hot-headed, hotshot, tough, quick-witted guy that he is. True Targaryen fashion, if you will. But yeah, he's kind of settled down, and you get the gist that they've been moving around a lot, not really settling in anywhere. And but yeah, one of the coolest scenes of the episode is where Daemon and his wife are both riding their respective dragons, and we get some aerial shots with the dragons themselves and them doing some cool tricks. Coolest shot in the whole episode. I digress. But anyway, so back to King's Landing, where all the family drama is ensuing. So we get a council meeting. Got to have one each episode. It's kind of a go-to thing with House of Dragons. Rhaenyra's in on this, as she is heir to the throne, and somebody decided it was a good idea to bring Queen Butthole into the mix as well. So they're kind of at each other in this meeting, and so different things, political things ensues. But Rhaenyra kind of gets a little, gist at the Queen by saying, "Hey, why don't you marry off your daughter to, this person?" And so the Queen don't really like that too well, and they just trade looks, and it's just not good at all. So they leave and all this, that, and other, and the queen storms out to conspire with her crony, the crippled guy. That's right. The Hand's younger son. And so they kind of conspiring and this and that, and she's venting to him, and he's got his own agenda, of getting ahead. It reminds me very much of Littlefinger off of Game of Thrones. I'm getting that whole vibe, the conniving little weasel who's out for himself but playing everybody. But anyway, so the Hand and Sir Harwin go back to their castle and sort of to take a minute of reprieve, if you will, from all the drama. So Sir Harwin, he takes his goodbyes to his children, because that's who they are. They belong to him. And he says his goodbyes to Rhaenyra, and so the oldest son of Rhaenyra confronts her and is like, look, pardon my language, but he's like, am I a bastard? Which is the right term, because he is. He's suspecting the truth. And she pretty much says, look, you're a Targaryen before you're anything, so that's all you need to know. True that. Anyway, back to Daemon and his wife, who is in the process of childbirth with their third child, but there's complications going on, right? Very reminiscent to the scene in the first episode with King Viserys and his wife. Complications. It's not good. She's having trouble. She's struggling. And so the little doctor dude comes over and he's like, look, I've done all I could do. We can either cut the baby out, same as the first episode, and to which the mother won't make it, or she can continue and she won't make it. Well, old girl decides that she's going to take matters in her own hand, wants to go out her own way, so she goes out to her dragon and she speaks the words, Dracarys. To which the dragon, you can kind of tell in its poor sad dragon eyes that it don't want to do it, it don't want to burn its master, but it winds up and does what it's told to do, and it roasts her like a roasted chicken at Walmart. To which poor Daemon has to witness, and so that's a bit sad. But anyway, so he's left with his two daughters to have to raise and to go God knows where. And so Rhaenyra, back at King's Landing, in her distraught self, is like, you know what, I've had enough of all this political BS bullcrap. Nobody's listening to me, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this. Who can blame her? So she goes out there, tells Sir Lena, her husband, look, we getting out of Dodge. You can bring your, friend over there. You can bring him with you. But we going back to Dragonstone. And we're leaving here. Should have left 10 years ago, she said. And so they pack up and head out. And the old king, he looks terrible. He looks, like I said, he's Crypt Keeper old, but we gotta be thinking he ain't making it out of this season. There's no possible way as King Viserys or Veneres or whatever his name is gonna make it to the end, let alone to season 2. He gonna drop any minute. Anyway, so they're all going back to Dragonstone and walking up the steps there and to their new home. But this crippled dude, the son of the Hand, the old weasel, right? Littlefinger 2.0. He goes to the prison and recruits him 4 or 5 of the most degenerate murderers, the works. Cuts the poor suckers' tongues off so they won't talk, and says, look, you ain't gonna hang, but you ain't gonna talk either. But I got a job for you, all right? He dispatches them to kill his own daddy and brother. Do you believe that? What a weasel. So, yeah, they get burned alive pretty much in their home, and so they're dead. The Hand and Sir Harwin. I hate that too, man. Anyway, so the weasel got what he wanted. He pretty much confesses to the queen, and she's all like, "I didn't tell you to do that. I didn't want that to happen." Well, tough titty, said the kitty. You did, and I did it, and now you owe me. That's pretty much what he says. You're like, get in touch with old Pops. We're gonna make Pops come back, and he gonna see to me. In other words, so we can be expecting Otto Hightower back. I'm pretty sure. I'm telling you, the apple does not fall far from the evil encrusted tree on the Hightower side of things. Alicent is a butthole that I can't stand, and if I was Rhaenyra, the first act I did when I got to be she-queen, king, whatever, was her head would roll. I'd cut Alicent's head clean off, and along with the cripple dude and Sir Christian Cole. Them three are the villains of this season. Anyway, so overall, this episode felt very much, I won't say it was a bad episode because none of them been bad this season. But compared to some of the other ones, it just did not move in a good, conductive, productive pace. I felt that it was a little bit on the lackluster side of things. We didn't get any big battles. We did get some pretty cool dragon aerial shots. But like I said, nothing spectacular in the way of episode 6. So, here's hoping that episode 7 is going to step it up. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't got but what, two episodes left? I think there's 8 episodes this season. So we're getting down to the nitty of the gritty. So, time to step it up. I'm ready to see bad-ended Daemon come back with his smart aleck self. I'm ready to see Rhaenyra take control of her life and deal with her stuff and step up and put that Alicent where she belongs. And like I said, the king can't make it very much longer. He looks like he's got one foot in the grave and one on a nanner peel right now. So yes, this has been episode 6 of House of the Dragon. And we shall see where we go with these stories next Sunday night. We shall see what happens in Westeros, King's Landing, with the Targaryens, the Hightowers, and all the drama ensues in the realm. And 7 hells by God, let us hope that next episode shall be tenfold better than this. So yes, if you hadn't seen it yet, I hope I didn't spoil anything, which I'm pretty sure I just did. So this recap is to be watched after you watched it. Anyway, with that said, what is your thoughts on episode 6? Did you enjoy it? Was it what you wanted? I gotta say though, compared to what I was going into expecting with the 2 lead actresses that's playing Rhaenyra and Alicent, they did a good job. I was a little bit worried because we were changing up things, but we couldn't have the same 2 play these characters because we're moving forward. We time jumped 10 years, but they did a really good job. The girl who played Rhaenyra, I felt, captured the young Rhaenyra's spirit. She's feisty. She's, tough. She's got that Targaryen toughness to her that we were hoping. So yeah, she did a great job. Kudos to her. And the girl that played Alicent, she brought the real Alicent to the show. Because if you're a fan of the books, we know Alicent is a dirtbag villain in the books. So we're starting to see that. We're starting to see that real good. Anyway, so yes, House of the Dragon. We'll be back here next Sunday to get into 7. So, with that said, as always, this is my personal, humble opinion. I'll be glad to take this wig off. And, as always, opinions are like bums. Everyone in King's Landing has a bum, and all of them stink.